Yes, indeed. B-Marsh Boxing back with another live stream was good boxing. Had some fight fans around the world. 22 and 0, 15 KOs, unified champ at 154 junior middleweight. Jarrett Hurd. You don't gotta like him, but god damn it, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You must respect him. I just finished watching this day in camp, Showtime All Access type of deal that what's his name? They covered Showtime covered Jarrett Hurd, you know what I mean? And it was a real inspiring piece, you know what I mean? It was about 18 minutes long. And Showtime didn't have to do this. For what? They didn't have to do this. But I guess Showtime recognized they have a real champ on their hands, on their platform, on their network, who's really putting in work and they ain't just running his mouth, you know what I mean? Yes, indeed. Jarrett Hurd, man, first of all, the little program starts with Jarrett Hurd saying, I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning and Showtime showed up to my house, you know what I mean? And Jarrett Hurd, if you don't know, he still lives with his parents, you know what I mean? He still lives with his mom and pops. He has a brother. I seen him fight before too. Can't remember his name. I seen him on the undercard when I went to see King Darius Irvin fight. Um, Yeah, man. They came up. They came to demand Jarrett Hurd's house. Jarrett Hurd still does household chores. You know what I mean? As he should, contribute somehow, some way under the roof you're living in. No matter how much money you make, he might make more than his parents do. You know what I mean? But he lives in a nice. They live in a nice suburban house over there in Accokeek, Maryland, where he's from. You know what I mean? So, um, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Fox Strikes in the chat. He says Irvin bounced back. Go look at his box rec. I'm not sure when the last time he fought, but go ahead and check it out. Um, yeah, man. And the man, Jared Hurd, he's a humble dude, man. The man showed his room, all the trophies he has, you know what I'm saying? All the boxing trophies he received from the amateurs, all the way up to professional ranks, his 3 world titles that he has, or 2 really, you know what I mean? But he can count that IBO belt if you want. But the man is quite accomplished right about now, you know what I'm saying? And he's a humble dude, man. The man went to the offices of his first DMV local promoters in Maryland, you know what I mean? And the guy's come a long way, you know what I'm saying? Now the question I gotta ask is Jamal Charlo, a guy I've been seeing on my television screen fighting since about 2011. We're in 2018. How comes I never seen a Jamal Charlo day in camp or all access type of deal like Showtime's done for the man Jarrett Hurd. You know what I mean? How comes we ain't seen one? Them fellas always keep talking about keep running your mouth and they be doing the most, keep running their mouth, doing too much but not enough. But still, yet they still haven't been recognized by Showtime to give them a day in the camp. Just 2 weeks ago, the Washington Redskins they recognized Jarrett Hurd. That's the local team out there, the Washington Redskins. They recognized Jarrett Hurd and they introduced him to the fans. The fans showed him love, gave him a Redskins jersey, you know what I'm saying? And it's only right that they do that for the world champion, unified champ that we got coming out of Accokeek, Maryland, PG County, from the DMV, Jarrett Hurd, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I made a video, you know what I mean? I made a video probably after, I think it was after Austin Trout, the Austin Trout fight. You don't gotta like him, but you must respect him. And if you watch that all access piece and you don't respect Jared Hurd, then I don't know what to say, man. The guy Jared Hurd lives at home and is still driving a Kia. He's driving a Kia. You know what I'm saying? My man ain't blinged out with no diamonds on his neck and white gold like the Charlo brothers, and there ain't nothing wrong with rocking your shines, you know what I mean? All the African kings from back in the day till today, they still wear big gold, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You can rock your shines all you want, you know what I'm saying? But Jared Hurd is from a different cut, you know what I mean? Jewelry ain't for everybody, you know what I mean? Most I seen Jared Hurd is probably like a sterling silver dog chain. You check it. The man still lives at home, pushing a Kia back and forth towards the gym, and he looks like he's a dedicated champion. You know what I mean? Treating his body right, and he explained why he has that kind of hairstyle or haircut he has, that blonde hairstyle. He said he wanted to have something where when people watch him on TV, they could recognize and say, "Oh, I know that guy." You know what I'm saying? That his blonde mohawk is pretty visible. You can't miss it. It's not. It's like Odell Beckham. You know what I mean? That's neither here nor there. He just explained why he has that blonde mohawk. But at the end of the day, Jarrett Hurd is a real champion. You know what I mean? I always say it. The guy went from a prospect to a contender to a champion to a unified champion in about a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Let's see when it started. 2017, from like when? February of 2017. That's when he fought Tony Harrison. Okay. Before that, we'd seen him, or at least I'd seen him. Let's say 2015, fighting guys like Frank Galarza. You know what I'm saying? Jojo Dan, those type of fighters. You know what I mean? So, the man, Jarrett Hurd, man, he's doing a lot more than a lot of fighters in every division are doing. I'm sorry, and then all the fighters in the junior middleweight division are doing. And the guy said, man, the guy mentally, Jamel Charlo's mentally checked out. He's mentally checked out. He said Jamel Charlo was calling him the whole time when he was beating guys up like Tony Harrison and Austin Trout. You know what I'm saying? But then when the man Jamel Charlo seen what Jarrett Hurd did to Jamel Charlo's big bro, Landy Lara, the patriarch of that gym, besides Ronnie Shields, he said Jarrett Hurd said, man, the call outs ain't been coming out no more. The man don't want it. And Jarrett Hurd, man, it's like this, man. Some people are bitching about him fighting this Jason Wellborn guy. Me personally, I don't care, man. I don't care who he's fighting because I know he's going to fight Charlo next. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this is what he said. You know what I mean? He said he's going to fight this Jason Wellborn because he said he needs a right-handed tune-up fight when he comes back from that surgery he had after the Landy Lara fight. All right, gets him a little tune-up, and he's about to have that December 1st on the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder pay-per-view on Showtime. Then the guy Jarrett Hurd said he wants a homecoming fight, preferably over here at the MGM National Harbor, Oxon Hill, Maryland. And sure enough, he does deserve it. He deserves a homecoming. You know what I mean? The man, what's his name? Jarrett Hurd. He hasn't fought around the way since who knows when. All them fights with guys like Frank Galarza and these guys, those fights weren't around. These fights were not. These fights were not in D.C. or Maryland. You know what I mean? So the guy would like a homecoming fight. Then tells Charlo, I got the date. And he's going to call the shots. He's the number one guy in the division. He's the one going to tell Charlo when to get ready. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for the guy. Jarrett Hurd, you know what I'm saying? He explained also how his nickname came about, Swift, you know what I mean? Swift is a name, have homies from back when we was kids, man. You call them Swift, you know what I'm saying? Whether they was Swift, whatever they was doing, just a nickname, you know what I mean? So it's a common nickname. Danny Garcia got the same nickname too, you know what I mean? But Jarrett Hurd is a pound for pounder on my book, you know what I mean? He's definitely in the top 10 pound for pound list. I like how he beat the man Landy Lara, one of my favorite fighters, but I knew he would do that to him. Austin Trout, another guy that I really respect in the division, whom I'm a fan of. I like what the man Jarrett Hurd did to him. And Tony Harrison as well. That stoppage and the knockout in the ninth round was a thing of beauty. I mean, man like Jamal Charlo is actually now fighting Jamel Charlo, excuse me. He's content on fighting Jarrett Hurd's leftovers. You know what I mean? Whether he's trying to have the mental edge, is clearly backfiring on him, and we'll find out come fight night when they do fight whether that will be a deterrent, whether it'll zap his confidence, because he damn sure didn't beat Austin Trout better than Jarrett Hurd did. You know what I'm saying? And now we'll see what he does with this guy. Tony Harrison, you know what I mean? I do believe Tony Harrison could give him a difficult fight. If Tony Harrison can get past his stamina issues and, mental breakdowns, capitulations, and you know, just kind of checking out, whether it's from the opponent putting pressure on him in the later rounds or just has a complete brain freeze. if he can overcome that, I think the man, what's his name, could give him a difficult fight. You know what I mean? Jamel Charlo, you check it. I'm sorry, Tony Harrison could give Jamel Charlo a difficult fight. But all in all, I suggest and I urge any boxing fan to go ahead and look at that all access fight camp thing, day in the camp. I'd urge anybody to go watch it, man. It was pretty interesting, you know what I mean? The man Jared Hurd living at home with his parents, you know what I'm saying? It's just shows how humble he is, you know what I mean? And you know, it looks like his parents, you know, he's lived a good, comfortable life, you know what I mean? He has both his parents in his life, you know what I mean? And you know, he also talked about his original trainer when he was in the amateurs who passed away. And he kept urging Jarrett Hurd when Jarrett Hurd was going to, I think he was going to Southern University. So I don't even know where that's at. Obviously, somewhere in the area, you know what I mean? In my area. You know what I'm saying? And he was also working a part-time job at Safeway, and this trainer would be like, "Man, what are you doing that job, man? You're a fighter. You need to come to the gym." And Jarrett Hurd would always play it off, or kind of push it to the side, like, "Yeah, I'll come to the gym." And even though he didn't, but when that trainer, his original trainer, passed away, the man broke down into tears, and he went and he got back in the gym, and look where he's at now. You know what I mean? And I believe, I'm not too sure actually when that was. You know what I mean? But Jamel Charlo has a decent resume, you know what I'm saying? It definitely ain't better than the man Jared Hurd, even though Jared Hurd has even been on the scene much shorter than Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? He's headlined a show with the man Arislandi Lara. He's now going to be on Deontay Wilder's pay-per-view. And these are small milestones that the man Jared Hurd said he's trying to accomplish, you know what I mean? So, and the thing I like about Jared Hurd's mentality is he'd like all the big major fights right now. He says he'd like to fight both Charlo brothers, Canoli and Triple G, sooner than later. And he'd like them fights right now, you know what I mean? And he said, why would I want to take them fights later on down the line while I'm older? He says he'd like to get it in right now, you know what I mean? Get them legacy fights out the way right now while he's still young and still agile and still has a lot of testosterone. You know what I'm saying? So B Marsh Boxing, go ahead and look at that Showtime thing. Day in the camp, Jarrett Hurd. Hurd, it's a preview of the Ward versus, I'm sorry, Hurd versus Wellborn. And like I said, I have no problem with him fighting this Jason Wellborn guy. My guy's coming off an injury, you know what I'm saying? We know what fight we want to see him in, and he wants that fight. He says, I've got the date, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, unless Jamel Charlo wants to come over to the MGM Grand after if he does get through Tony Harrison and Jarrett Hurd gets through Jason Wellborn. If Jamel Charlo wants to come over here and be and fight the man Jarrett Hurd for the homecoming fight at the MGM Grand, then be his guest. You know what I mean? You know he ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry, Jarrett Hurd would like a homecoming fight, and he definitely deserves that. You know what I mean? The Charlo brothers should have got a homecoming fight in Houston. Why they fighting in Brooklyn beats me. Sure, they fought in Brooklyn before, but you trying to build these brothers up, right? You would have thought they would have put it in Houston. You know what I mean? Anyways, they already gave Errol Spence a fight in Texas versus Campo. His next fight again going to be in Texas and not in that little training facility of the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to do it in the big Jerry's World Stadium, AT&T Stadium. So look, man, people are just surpassing the Charlo brothers right before their eyes. What they gonna do about it? You know what I mean? If I was the Charlo kid, I'd put pressure on Jarrett Hurd and say, "Fucking right, man. I'll come to your hometown. Let's do that at the MGM Grand. I'm trying to get this fight up out of the way ASAP." We'll see if you about that life. March Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Mike 104 was good, son. He's in the chat. He says, I might just hang out later, player. 154 is the deepest division, but it's stagnant as fuck. 154s are always getting lower to 147 or 160 and never cleaning house at 154. You're absolutely right about that, man. 154 is basically like a transition division, you know what I mean? Basically for guys going from 147 to 154 or 154 to 160, you know what I mean? One of the greatest junior middleweights of all time, Terry Norris. He only unified that division once. And this guy was a top dog in that welterweight division. I'm sorry, 154 divisions from like 91, you know what I mean? You check it. So B Marsh box, yeah, from '91 till till he lost to Keith Mullings. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, and that was like when, like '98. You know what I mean? And he only unified once. You check it, but it is what it is. B Marsh Boxing. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Fox Strikes and Mike 104. Leave your thoughts and comments. And I'll say it again, like I said it before. You don't gotta like Jarrett Hurd, but goddamn it, you must respect him. B Marsh Boxing. I'm out. Peace.